Vegas Rock Dog Radio. Pets, people, pop culture. Bring on the host, Sam, the queen of rock and roll dogs.
Hello everyone, I'm Sam, the queen of rock and roll dogs and the host of Vegas Rock Dog Radio. On today's show, I'm talking about laser beams, hydrotherapy for pets, and catnip wine. So stay right there. I'll be right back.
Vegas Rock Dog Radio. Pets, people, pop culture.
Welcome everyone, I'm Sam, the queen of rock and roll dogs and the host of Vegas Rock Dog Radio. Today I've got a great show lined up for you, lots and lots of information, some news thrown into the mix as well. In the studio, I've got Jim Dorigo. Good morning, Jim.
Good morning.
Wonderful, wonderful. And we've got Miss Thornton and Mr. Twix. They've had the morning walk and now they're ready for a little nap. So they'll be quiet like the most perfect little puppies you can ever imagine. So that's how our day started today. As I say, got lots to talk about today. Some good news stories and some very good information for you and your pets. Now, we are a rock and roll show, so we do things a little bit differently than everybody else. We're not so cutesy. We're just ourselves. Well, if you want to connect with us and you are new to the show, then welcome. And if you come to the show every week, we're glad to have you back every single week. And if you'd like to connect with us in other places, you can go to our website, vegasrockdogradio.com. That's the hub of the show. And you'll see us on Periscope, Facebook, of course, Twitter, Pinterest, Tumblr, Instagram. And we have a blog, therockandrolldog.com. That blog is going to get a lot of activity next week.
It sure is. It's going to get tons of activity this week coming up.
And why is that, Jim?
Because of the upcoming convention, the Super Zoo.
Super Zoo. We talked about it last week with Phil Hubber. No, I always keep calling him Phil Hubber.
He's not Hubber. He's from Hubber.
I think he should just adopt the last name Hubber. Phil Chang Hubber. Biggest pet industry, they call it a show, actually. Thankfully, it's here in Vegas every single year. So I always laugh when I get the emails, of course. You know, we call Vegas Rock Dog Radio, clothing company called Vegas Rock Dog. And then they always send us emails, these companies, saying, will you be making your way into Vegas, flying into Vegas for Super Zoo?
Yeah, flying right across the road.
Right down the road. But maybe the name of the show and our clothing line might give you a little clue that we're from Vegas.
That's all right. We'll keep everybody on their toes. They just don't know.
It's this year, I would say the companies have gone full on when it comes to contacting, well, particularly anyone that's in the media, particularly because they want someone to pick up their products and write about them. So that's why I said the blog's going to get really busy next week. I've had so many companies reach out, but I am fully booked up right now. I am fully booked up with meetings and the products I want to go and see and the people I need to see. And it's going to be a tiring few days, but a fun few days as well. And as I mentioned last week, I will be doing a live stream with Hubber from the show floor at Super Zoo at 1:30. The links will go up on Facebook. And we're going to talk about some trends. I'm doing this as an influencer. And we're going to talk about some trends and what I've seen and some other bits and pieces about Super Zoo itself.
Twix is influencing me right now to rub his chin.
I want to say to tickle his belly or...
It's a chin rub today. Demand for chin rub. He's an influencer.
So each morning I roll out my yoga mat and get some stretches in, and the dogs join me, which is great, and they're excellent at doing the downward dog pose. And they're
maybe because they're dogs.
Yeah, and that's where it originates from. And they're very excellent at laying on their backs on my mat while I do my other stretches. And so I did a cute video of Mr. Twix this week, and it was just called Yoga with Mr. Twix. And basically it's him laying on his back, all his teeth showing, paws up in the air, ears flopped out, and just as happy as a little lark. So if you want to see that video, just go to our Facebook page. You'll see it there, or you'll see it on our Instagram account. And the place where you're going to find most of our accounts are going to be on those social media platforms that I mentioned. Just search for Vegas Rock Dog or Vegas Rock Dog Radio. We do have an app, and the app is at Yap.us.
I wish we had a yacht.
Yeah, me too. YAPP.us. It's free. Download the free app, and then you will download the Vegas Rock Dog Radio Show onto your app. Very, very easy. And, of course, if you like to listen at your own leisure, you want to listen back to the show, then we provide it as a podcast. And, of course, iTunes is one of the main places you can pick it up. iHeartRadio, Spoke, which is the new app by SiriusXM, and many, many other apps that you can listen to a podcast on. That's my little list of where you can find us on the internet. And this week, it's funny, we're on SoundCloud, but for quite a while now, it's been looking like SoundCloud was going to have to close its doors and disappear. And it's been very touch and go. Lots of people host mainly on SoundCloud. We don't host mainly on there, thank goodness, because it looked like, it's going to have to go. And I think they had to downsize 170 employees last week. And then some rapper stepped in and bought SoundCloud and saved it.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah. It was literally, it was like doom and gloom, everybody.
A famous rapper or just a rapper?
Famous rapper. I forgot what his name is, but it was a doom and gloom situation. Get your files downloaded off SoundCloud. And then all of a sudden, yay, he's a hero. He saved SoundCloud. And that's the good news. So who knows what can happen to SoundCloud from this point forward. But podcasts are big business right now. Really big business. Do you listen to any, Jem?
Not really.
No?
No.
There are so many amazing podcasts. I can't understand why you wouldn't listen to a World War II podcast.
I think I kind of watch, when things come up on one of the social medias, I watch the videos because I do follow some World War II history things. But I'm a YouTube.
Yeah, but the beauty of a podcast, for example, when you're driving around, because let me tell you something, everything takes 20 to 30 minutes to get to here in Vegas. You can catch an episode. You just play it through the car.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Drive time.
I pay attention when I'm driving. I don't do that.
That's debatable.
Yeah, well.
That's debatable. We both had 2 freak accidents this week. Well, mine wasn't so much a freak accident, but my electric window broke and fell into the door. But Jim did have a trash can, plastic bucket.
5-gallon bucket.
Full of
Twigs
landscaping rubbish fly off the back of a landscaper's vehicle and smash into his car and cause, what was it, $1,000 worth of damage?
$1,000 worth of damage, yeah.
That's
terrible.
That's not fun. Do you know what you can do with $1,000?
No, because I don't have it now.
Oh, dear. You just have to acknowledge it and move on really fast. Otherwise, you'd start crying, honestly. Well, I have some news, Jim. I don't know if you know about this.
Not until you tell me.
I found this online. Maybe you do know about it. It was an article, actually, from late last year. So only 6 months or so ago. Scottsdale is a leg up on being a pet-friendly city. Oh, you have to listen to this. You have to listen to this. This is my alarm.
Is it a baby or a cat?
It's a cat.
Cat baby?
I have to tell you later what about that song It was written by a lady in LA, and it's called Kitty. I don't know. I'll tell you what it is. I'll look on the break. But I have to tell you about it. It's one of my favourite videos and favourite songs. It's about cats. It's that kind of educational too. But I would have to ask her permission to play it on air. I did ask her for permission to use it for a video, which she gave me permission for, but I can't really play it on there. But that comes on as one of my alarms. Okay, back to Scottsdale. Scottsdale's gorgeous, by the way, isn't it, Jim?
Beautiful. I love the Sonoran Desert. You know, we have 2 deserts down here in the Southwest.
Yeah, we do.
For those who don't know, they're not just a desert, but there's 2 different kinds of deserts. And we're in the Mojave Desert, and the Sonoran Desert is where Phoenix area and Tucson is, and it's more lush and green. It's a very green desert.
Yes. Ours is more dry.
Ours is very dusty.
Dry and crispy. Scottsdale's gorgeous, though. This article says that Scottsdale has a leg up on being a pet-friendly city, and this was on Realtor.com, and it was a survey about Scottsdale, and Scottsdale happens to be the number 4 in the nation for owning a dog. And when it comes to finding a home in a pet-friendly city, your nose doesn't have to go very far. Scottsdale is ranked number 4 nationally on a new list of the best housing markets for owning a dog. So this was 6 months ago. Maybe we should check it again to make sure, see what the rankings are. You might be scratching your head wondering what Scottsdale offers that other cities don't. For one, 69% of households in Scottsdale own a dog. It's a nice, healthy percentage, isn't it? The city also has many restaurants where pet owners can dine outdoors with their 4-legged pooch. There are even 20 bars in Scottsdale that allow dogs to sit with their owners. And if those 3 reasons don't get you to pause a moment, there are also an abundant number of pet shops catering to dogs. Speaking of pet shops, it's funny, I do know this store. The rankings mention Oh My Dog in Scottsdale, where you can buy Louis Vuitton knockoff dog toys known as Chewy Vuitton, Coco Chunel, and 50 Shades of Furbones, and sports car themed dog beds such as Ferraris. I do know this store very well from online. They also opened an Oh My Dog hotel. I think it's attached to it. Charlotte came in as number 1. So
Charlotte, North Carolina.
Yeah, so we went from 4 to 1. I think they picked, I don't know, what order they picked these in. Charlotte, North Carolina, ranked as number 1 as the best housing market for dog owners. But it's a little hard to compete with the city with 5 dog-friendly beaches. And number 2 goes to Temecula, California. We like Temecula, don't we, Jim?
Excellent place.
Very nice, since 85% of households there own a dog.
I think they own burros and other things in Temecula as well. There's like quite a lot of ranches.
Oh, yeah,
and
it's
things.
gorgeous, isn't it? And those fruit markets and fruit and veg markets you just see on the road. Oh, wonderful. Now, dogs in Vegas are rocking it out in a city ranked number 3, mainly due to the city having its own pet-themed radio show, Vegas Rock Dog Radio. Yes.
Wow. Good for you.
Isn't that fantastic?
That's fantastic.
That is fantastic.
I didn't know that.
I was surprised myself. I was just looking through news articles, just did a quick search, and there we go. So there, that makes me blush a little. Isn't that great?
We're not just here, though. We're everywhere.
We are everywhere. But
on the interwebs.
But this is about friendly cities. So there you go. Now, if I was the mayor of Las Vegas, I would make it really pet friendly. I would do all kinds of things. I really would. If you were the mayor of your city, what would you do to make it more pet friendly? What do you have in mind? I'd make all businesses pet friendly. If anyone that it loves animals, your business can be pet friendly. It's as simple as that. That would be a great start, wouldn't it? I would have an indoor dog walking park for summer. I would have an huge indoor swimming facility, water facility for dogs.
Like that. Oh, I never showed you this place in Germany where they took a airship hangar and turned it into a themed water park and beaches and cabanas.
For pets?
I don't know if I think there's a pet beach in there.
That would be phenomenal. That's that biggest struggle though in summer. You can't really go out. So I think anything that would be indoors. How about a really cool indoor walking track for you and your dog? That would be amazing, wouldn't it? That would be so cool. Gosh, wouldn't that be great if one of our gyms... We do have a fantastic gym here, though. We're members of LVAC, and they are huge. These gyms are huge. They're 24 hours, and I'm talking massive, aren't they, Jim? And they all have indoor tracks and swimming pools and just really great facilities. But yeah, if we could include our pets, an agility course indoors for you and your pet. Oh, amazing. Well, I've got some more news. And this is actually groundbreaking news, and you'll love this. You will absolutely love this. And there are new restrictions on bullfighting in the Balearic Islands. On Monday, the Parliament of the Balearic Islands, which includes Mallorca, Minorca, and Ibiza, which I've been to all of them, some of my favorite places, will vote on a bill to introduce strict new regulations on bullfighting, Jim.
Excellent.
And if the bill passes, it will be illegal to kill bulls in the arena and to wound them with swords, knives, and other weapons. The use of horses in bullfights will also be outlawed because they get injured and they end up dying too and terrified. And the number of bulls used per event will be limited to 3. The Balearic Islands form one of Spain's 7 autonomous regions. In October 2016, so this was last year, the Constitutional Court of Spain overturned Catalonia's ban on bullfighting, introduced in 2010, ruling that autonomous regions don't have the legal capacity to outlaw bullfighting. However, the Balearic Islands proposed legislation. It intends to do the next best thing, which is introduce regulations so strict that they will effectively end bullfighting as we know it. Now, if this bill passes, it will be a huge step forward in the struggle to end bullfighting and could inspire other regions in Spain to follow suit. And there is a letter that you can sign to the president of the Balearic Islands, and his name is Francina Armengol, to show her, it's a lady, that the international community supports this bill. Sometimes you have to go from a different angle. Sometimes you have to, circuses and elephants. It's very hard to say you need to close your circus down, but you can then ban the use of bull hooks, which is what they use to control elephants. And if you can't control an elephant, then you can't run a circus. You cannot put a show on because that's the torture equipment that they use to get them to comply. So you have to go different angles sometimes. I think that's great news. And I love tradition. Trust me, I love tradition so much, coming from a country that's so old. But some traditions need to change as people progress.
Well, like what they did in Britain with the fox hunts.
Yes, which...
I think they still try to get away with it in places.
Oh, they do. Oh, they do. I follow a couple of groups that actually try and prevent them. And they do, and there are videos of them saving these foxes, chasing them in the middle of a pack of dogs, and horses, and can be very violent towards the people that love these animals and want to save them from being chased, terrified, hunted down. It's a good thing, and they're keeping on it, and they're keeping it really strong. So, and they're reporting them, and they're going to jail. They're getting sentenced because it can be very, very violent. They can be very violent towards the people that really love these animals and don't want them to be hunted. And of course, we don't want them to be hunted. But isn't that a great piece of news? Well, on that note, Jim, let's take a quick break because we can talk about something that people do that they think is fun that can lead to a lot of problems. What is it? You'll find out when we come back. You're listening to Vegas Rock Dog Radio with me, Sam, your host, the queen of rock and roll dogs.
Vegas Rock Dog Radio. Pets, people, pop culture.
At Carl's Jr., not only do we make you happy with our delicious charbroil burgers, we also make your dogs happy. Come through our drive-thru with your furry friends and we'll offer them a treat. We love to see their smiling faces. Our website, carlsjroflasvegas.com, has a treat in store for its customers too, with free coupons anytime, so visit us often. Carl's Jr. is a proud and active supporter of animal adoption in our community. You can find us at carlsjroflasvegas.com.
Pet Scene magazine is dedicated to Las Vegas pets and the people who love them. It's a source of news and information for pet lovers, as well as offering valuable coupons and specials on pet products and services. Find them online at www.lvpetscene.com or look for them on Facebook.
Vegas Rock Dog Radio. Pets, people, pop culture.
Welcome back, everyone. You're listening to Vegas Rock Dog Radio. I'm Sam, the host of the show, known as the Queen of Rock and Roll Dogs. I didn't make that up myself. I didn't give it to myself.
It was bestowed upon you.
It was about 10 years ago. In fact, you were given the title.
You were coronated.
You were given the title of the King of Rock and Roll Dogs.
Yeah, but it didn't stick with me.
Yeah, it just stuck with me. I don't know.
There's only one king.
Who's that?
Elvis.
Oh, I don't know who he's on about.
The king of, there was the king of song. That was Bing Crosby. Then there was
I didn't know he was called the King of Song.
Or what was it? He was the first king, was Bing Crosby. Then the second king was Frank.
Did they call him the king? Oh.
And then the second king was Frank Sinatra. Then the next king was Elvis Presley. And then the next king was Michael Jackson.
Who was the first king?
That was the lineage of kings.
Who was the first one?
Bing Crosby.
Oh, okay.
He was like the first big star, the big TV star, big radio. He was a big radio star, and then Sinatra. Then, that's the lineage in rock and roll and from the history of rock and pop. Yeah.
Now I know.
You didn't know that?
No, I didn't know that Frank Sinatra was
That's
called
considered
the
the historical lineage. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
All amazing performers.
King of Swing. Wait, one of them was the King of Swing. That was Benny Goodman. But
yes.
That was clarinet, though. Benny was the King of Swing, but as far as singers goes, that lineage that I laid out is how it's most recognized.
There you go. Jim's a musician, by the way, so he knows this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I was watching a thing with Michael Jackson yesterday, actually, just old footage of him and Lady Diana actually meeting. And I thought, that's just really sad. They're no longer here.
Then there's
really
other
sad.
ladies. There's Lady Irene, Lady Diana, Lady Gaga.
Lady Irene
I don't think they have any relation to each other. But
and they're nowhere near as good as Lady Irene, who's my mum, by the way. She's my mum. All right.
She's still in England visiting.
Yeah, she's still there right now. My mum lives in Spain. And so she goes over to England for about 3 weeks at a time. Well, we've got a big family. There's a lot of people to get around.
I'd
so
like
she's
to go
there
to
right now.
England for 3 weeks at a time. How can we work that out?
I think she has some kind of performance down at the beach when my sister lives at the beach, on the beach. There's some kind of performance they've got my mum wrapped up in. It's funny you're talking about, we were just mentioning World War II earlier. Every year they have what's the name of it, Jim? It's an event in Sheffield, my hometown.
It's the 1940s. It's like a 40s festival.
It's a festival, and everybody dresses up in the clothes of the era, the uniforms of the era. It's fantastic. The music. Mum was dancing. I don't know where she was. She was outdoors and just dancing to this amazing music from that era. And it's just, I've not actually been home when it happens, but my mum loves one to dress up, two sing, three dance.
It's called the 1940s Wartime Weekend in Vintage Fair.
And it's packed. It's absolutely packed. Yes. They always seem to hit on really lovely weather as well.
It's part of the museums and trusts.
Very, very interested in keeping history alive. History is important. History is very, very important, and a lot of fun when you get to participate in these events. But yes, my mom loves to dance and to sing, doesn't she, Jim? And she loves a costume.
Yeah, she was jigging it up with the 40s band, with the swing band that was there.
She was. She's fantastic. Well, let's talk about fun. That's something that is perceived as fun that can cause a lot of problems down the road. Do you know what I'm talking about, Jim? Any idea?
I don't know. Drinking, drugs, sex. I don't know. Fun that causes problems. I don't know.
Okay. Well, here we go. This was an article I found, and I've been wanting to talk about this for quite some while. It's been on my list, and I finally put it in the show yesterday. And that is that tiny red bright red dot of a light that your dog loves to chase after, and it could have unintended consequences for his psyche. And we're talking about laser beams. Those laser beam toys.
I don't believe they're good for any pet. It's dangerous. You're not supposed to get it near your eyes, so why should you put it near an animal's eyes?
Well, it's not just the eyes, it's something else. So this is according to Live Science. The lack of closure in laser beam chasing could be messing with your dog's head. What they mean by closure is an end result.
I mean, they don't feel like they've achieved something.
That's right. Dr. Nicholas Dodman, animal behavior expert and professor at Tufts University Cummings School of Veterinary Medicine, said your dog instinctively chases laser beams simply because they move. Yeah. Anything that moves like that, he said, is begging to be chased. And I mean, you can move that laser beam really rapidly, can't you, Jim?
Yeah.
And so they lock onto that and they want to chase it. And anything that moves like that, like I said, is begging to be chased. And this movement triggers a dog's innate prey drive, which is why smaller prey animals often freeze in their tracks. Does that make sense?
Interesting.
Prey drive is,
They stop so they're not chased then.
Yes, they're smart. They go,
Yeah.
I'll freeze. I'll pretend I'm invisible because I don't want this dog or this cat to get me.
Your dogs don't freeze.
No, it's the prey that they were chasing that would freeze.
Everything is prey to your dogs. They don't stop.
My shoes are prey.
So when Mr. Twix gets your flip-flop, you have to let him satisfy his urge by chewing the nub off of the toe end.
No.
Otherwise, he has incomplete satisfaction.
He knows the one little knob of plastic rubber that makes it a flip-flop. He knows that's the first thing that he's going to bite off. And then, it's no longer a flip-flop after that. But he took them out of my closet last night that were stored away properly. Oh, he's something else. Anyway, so if a cat is, I guess, chasing a mouse, it will tend to freeze. They run fast as mice, but we'll get out of the way. But they do prey freezes so that they know I shouldn't move, then it won't chase me. Yeah, but because of the laser beam, you people fling that thing around on the walls and the ceiling and everything and crazy in circles, they are going to want to chase it. And while dogs don't see colors all that well, they have a keen ability to detect motion with their eyes. According to Dr. Dodman, the continuous movement of a laser dot stimulates the dog's predatory systems such that they cannot not chase it. They can't help themselves and they're obliged to chase it, he said. Chasing prey with no hope of catching it isn't good for a dog's psyche. So this is where it's not so fun. So is it a good idea to trigger your dog's prey drive using an object that your dog has no chance of catching? Dr. Dodman believes it's not a good plan because dogs can get so obsessed with chasing the light that they develop behavior problems. And I've seen it, and it's sad. It's really sad. It's not just a laser beam. It could be the light reflecting in off a mirror that it reflects on the floor or the glass, or something that you've got that's shiny that moves in the house, and then all of a sudden you've got light darting around. They become obsessed. They often have a memory of where that happens, and then they're constantly looking for it. Where is it? And I've seen it, and it's really sad.
Yeah, they have memories for sights and sounds,
and they become obsessed with it. They become obsessed, and that's terrible to do to any animal. That's really horrible to do to any animal. But lots of people don't know what they're doing. They don't know the consequences either. He said, I've seen light chasing as a pathology where they will just constantly chase around a light or shadow and pounce upon it. They spend their whole lives wishing and waiting. And that's what I saw. And I found it quite upsetting. I have to be honest with you. And it's not fun. And then those same people that did it to the dog are like, oh, my dog's obsessed. It's like, oh, dear, you did this to your poor dog. Never getting to the point of actually catching their prey can drive a dog slightly nuts. Yes, think about that. You've got this prey drive that is innate, and you don't get to satisfy it. So it would make you crazy. It just would. The same principle applies with bomb or drug sniffing dogs. This I didn't know, as well as search and rescue canines.
Because their training is fun based, and they don't have their fun.
And this is what they do, So trainers of these dogs have learned that there are psychological consequences when the animals don't find what they're looking for. So their handlers occasionally arrange for them to find a target as a way of keeping them emotionally balanced. So they get to satisfy the prey drive. Alternatives to laser light toys. Well, he says the best way to satisfy your dog's prey instinct at home, short of letting a live mouse or rabbit loose in the house, is with treat release or puzzle toys that stimulate the canine drive to hunt and also deliver a reward for your dog's efforts. Yeah. And although we call it fun, really what you're doing is satisfying their prey drive, which makes them happier because they get to be dogs, they get to be cats and do something that is natural to them, but they do need a result at the end of it. So there are, excuse me, there are, like I say, toys. We used to have a couple of them. We should buy some new ones.
Puzzle toys to get the treats.
They loved it. I'm saying they loved it. It satisfied this prey drive, in them. And they say, well, what about cats and laser toys? As a general rule, he says kitties are less likely than dogs to develop an obsession and accompanying behavior problems as a result of chasing laser beams. You've probably noticed your cat has a relatively short attention span and loses interest very quickly, so probably not too apt to engage in endless pursuits of a tiny dot of red light, although I think that people use them most with the cats. In fact, felines in the wild stalk prey for only a few minutes at a time and then move on. And we learnt this from Dr. Liz Bales. She has the no bowl feeder system, where her feeding system for cats is based on prey drive and being satisfied, which is there are no bowls involved in it. There's 5 small containers that you put food in. You hide them around the house. They're covered in some kind of a fabric that acts as a toy. It's got some loose bits on the outside.
It's like a little mousy mouse.
Yeah, so they get to hunt them, then they get to play with it, then they get to eat, and then they get to sleep. And she said that very same thing. They eat little and often, so they're not hunting for hours.
They feel like they've caught a few mices here and there.
A few mices, that's right.
A few meese.
A few meese. I have to tell you a little story of mine straight after this about mice and mices. So they say they're just generally not likely to develop this, but of course you need to be aware of that. And so if you use a laser light toy as a way to help your kitty get exercise and she's willing to run and jump at the light for 5 or 10 minutes a day, he said, that's okay. Too many indoor cats are overfed and, of course, under exercise these days. Not if they do the no bowl feeder system. They won't be, because that gets them active and moving around the house. Too many. He says, so if yours gets physically active chasing laser beams, he says, go for it. I don't know. I think personally the no bowl feeder system would be a much better alternative. Obviously, if you notice your cat is developing a laser beam obsession, you should switch to another type of toy that gets your cat active, but also delivers a reward when she catches up with it. Keeping in mind, your fluff muffin is a predator at heart, so choose toys that appeal to a natural drive to stalk and bring down prey, and toys don't have to be high-tech. Many cats will respond to a piece of string being dragged across the floor or a ping-pong ball. So that was very interesting. I said lots of people use laser beams not knowing that they could be causing problems, but then they will actually mention, my dog's obsessed looking for light. It's, that's really sad. That's really sad. I don't like to hear that. Talking of meese and mices, I love those memories that pop up on Facebook. It's probably one of the only good things about Facebook. And my sister had posted a picture of some kittens. It's a very old, it looks like an old Victorian drawing of kittens having a tea party. And the caption, my sister ran, they were eating cake, and she wrote, would you like a slice of meese?
Oh my God. That's the kind of stuff you...
Oh, no, she put, would you like a... No, sorry, I'm wrong. Would you like a meese of cake?
Oh my gosh. That's the kind of
slice of
stuff
cake.
you like. That's your kind of humor.
I know it is. It made me laugh. Would you like a meese of cake? Oh, gosh, talking of cake. You know, we had the episode with Mr. Twix in the kitchen we figured out how he was climbing up and getting into the kitchen and eating stuff, even though we don't have much food up there.
And we adjusted and we moved the sofa so he couldn't climb up.
Yeah, we were smart. We moved it, so we didn't have any more issues. And last night, I hear my lovely English teacups tip over. And I go, oh, he can't. No way. How? Sure enough, he's back on the kitchen countertops. I have to tell you, his legs are 2 inches long. These countertops are high.
Kitchen countertop size.
I can't even jump up.
Yes.
I cannot jump up and sit on my countertop. It's too high for me to get up there.
You don't have 4 legs, though.
Yeah, but I'm 5 foot. His legs are 2 inches long.
He's got springs for legs.
I think he's bionic. Back up there again. So now we don't know. We don't know how.
He ate some butter.
He did. We don't know how he's get. We don't know. Now we're stumped, and we've not ever seen him get up. That's the issue.
He's cat-like.
So I'm gonna put a little camera on that little monkey, see what's going on. And Jim, on that note, let's take a quick break. Let's talk about a great therapy for pets, and that's hydrotherapy. When we come back, you're listening to Vegas Rock Dog Radio with me, your host Sam, the Queen of Rock and Roll Dogs.
Vegas Rock Dog Radio. Pets, people, pop culture.
Welcome to Barking Dog Self-Washing Grooming, your one-stop shop for all your pet's needs. We offer premium natural pet foods, full-service grooming, and an on-site bakery and boutique. You can choose to self-wash your dog or schedule a luxury pampering with our professional groomers. Visit our Cool Cat section offering feline food, toys, bedding, and litter, while the adventurous dog department has everything you need for your outdoor activities. And don't forget Cody's Healing Garden, featuring flower, aromatherapy, and herbal remedies for pets. Find us at www.barkingdogslv.com, and we look forward to seeing you in our neighborhood.
Vegas Rock Dog Radio. Pets, people, pop culture.
Welcome back, everyone. You're listening to Vegas Rock Dog Radio. I'm your host, Sam. And earlier on in the show, I had my alarm that went off, and it was cats meowing. And that song is called Kitty Decides, and it's by Amy Roche. I think I'm pronouncing it correctly. And Amy wrote this song. She performs in the video as well. It's a very cool video. And it's really educational, actually. Kitty Decides. So
I'll look it up.
I can hear something weird. Oh, it's my phone. Let's turn that off. That needs to go off. Basically, she says the right way and the wrong way. Kitty will decide. So the right way to stroke a cat is this way, the wrong way, and then Kitty will decide whether they like that or not. It's a great video. I want to say they were playing it on Virgin Airlines on their video music channel, which is great. So, yeah. So that's Kitty Decides by Amy Roche, Raasch, I think. Okay, let's talk about water. We haven't had much. We had one day of rain last week, and it just wasn't enough, and I feel like I've just been ripped off in this monsoon season.
Are you crispening up?
Yeah, back again. Yeah, the monsoon has disappointed me this year.
Our plants have struggled this year.
Ooh.
Trees, everything.
Ooh.
It's terrible.
Really bad. And I do love a rainy day. And the one day it did rain, I made a cup of coffee and I sat out in the rain and I got completely wet. And I was happy as a pig in mud. But water is a good thing for many, many reasons. And one of those reasons is as a therapy. Hydrotherapy for dogs, and why it's worth it.
Well, hydrotherapy, like rehab.
Yeah.
It's awesome. It's awesome for people because it takes all the stress off those joints and you get to work your muscles and your heart.
And that's right. It's good for people. It's good for pets. In Greek, the word hydrotherapy means...
water.
And another word.
Therapy.
Not quite.
Water and therapy. Hydrotherapy.
No. It means water healing.
Oh.
Close. Dogs can benefit from water therapy in the same way that humans do. How can hydrotherapy help? We just had a place open up specifically for this in town.
The Hydra was a multi-headed monster in Greece.
Oh, really?
Yes, it was a monster of mythology, the Hydra. But then there is a Hydra as a simple-celled organism as well in biology.
And what does that do? Is
Looks like a
cell
little
of water?
looks like a little tiny microscopic squid. The
Really?
Hydra. But that's what the Hydra monster in mythology
I
looked
see.
like too.
Getting all kinds of information today in the show, aren't we? It's a bit. We're as my grandma would say, going around all the houses. We're going all the way around the houses to get back to the topic. How does it help? So hydrotherapy uses the properties of water, its buoyancy, its viscosity. Ooh, that's a great word. Resistance and hydrostatic pressure to enable a dog or a human to move their joints. Water makes the body buoyant, so when submerged, the weight of the body is supported. This means the dog is not fighting gravity, and the buoyancy of water reduces stress on the joints, and this creates a much safer environment for recovery after surgery. Oh, we know tons of people that have done this. And being in town where lots of people have a swimming pool, I know some friends who have used their own swimming pools as part of the therapy. Once they knew what they were doing, of course. Don't just decide how you're going to do this. It's also beneficial for dogs who are recovering from injury, dogs who suffer from degenerative joint disease, and those who have been paralyzed. I've seen this many times with paralyzed animals learning to walk again without the gravity, as an
like the water treadmills.
As an obstacle to getting well. And water therapy can also help dogs suffering from fractures, hip dysplasia, the amputation of a limb. Yeah, that's a whole learning process of how to walk again, or how to walk differently, basically. And neurological disorders. And hydrotherapy may be especially beneficial for dogs who suffer from arthritis due to old age. And that warm water helps reduce joint swelling. And that's another benefit to it. So there are a few types of hydrotherapy, Jim. You mentioned
starting with the first type.
You mentioned one.
The treadmill.
Yeah, so some of the available forms of hydrotherapy for dogs include whirlpools, underwater treadmills, and dog pools. And all three of these options offer a very, very controlled environment. And of course, with a professional. Underwater treadmills are often used for dogs with joint problems. And you've probably seen it yourself, but the treadmill is encased in a glass or a plastic chamber type of thing. And the dog enters the chamber, the door is shut, and the water fills up just above the dog's legs. And the dog begins to walk on the treadmill, and the water creates the resistance needed to strengthen the muscles in a low-impact environment. And this can create improved circulation, increased joint flexibility, increased joint pain, range of motion.
And not increased joint pain, decreased
joint pain. Whoa.
To make that quick correction there.
Yeah. Muscle strength and endurance, cardio, respiratory endurance, increased flexibility, range of motion, like I said earlier, and agility are additional benefits. So this is not, we only use that for injured dogs, but you've got an older dog with some arthritis. It's gonna be of benefit to them. And what are those benefits? Well, first of all, simultaneously, water therapy stimulates, strengthens, and relaxes the body at the same time. Water therapy may also improve balance, coordination, and increase overall energy levels, all while reducing pain and stress.
I might need water therapy.
Water therapy is good. When we go to, which is the hotel we like to go to, Jim?
The Silverton.
Yeah, we like to go to the Silverton. They've got a fantastic pool down there. We go on a quiet afternoon. We could just hang out in that water all day.
Salt pool.
Oh, it is a salt pool, yeah.
Excellent for the skin.
We love.
Healthy benefits.
What is it?
Healthy benefits.
Healthy
benefits.
Jonathan Rudinger, he's the founder and president of the Association of Canine Water Therapy. And he says there may be some situations when hydrotherapy may cause more harm than good. If the dog has any compromises to the ears, they are not candidates for water sessions. And the water could exacerbate any imbalanced condition within the ear. So ears are going to be a big issue. Other benefits to water therapy include Water increasing circulation, great for the skin and the coat. Water can increase lymph drainage, rid the body of toxins, and improve the immune system. Gosh, the benefits are endless. And water can encourage better digestion. That I find interesting. And can promote balance and coordination. Hydrotherapy can also help dogs who need to shed a few pounds. Yep. So a good recreational swim would be good. A great form of low-impact exercise. Regular walks on the underwater treadmill or swimming in a pool can help promote weight loss and general fitness in dogs. I have a friend whose dog is still going through hydrotherapy and doing very, very well. Doing very well. I think it was, I want to say knee issues, No, hip. I want to say it was hip issues. Doing very, very well. And they say, don't try hydrotherapy without a professional. Yeah, you need to know what you're doing. Absolutely. So I think with any, like we are with our veterinarian, you know, we ask a lot of questions. Is this something we could do at home? Is this something we can add into the diet? Is this, you know, would you recommend that we try this? Or I've read about this. Is it something we could implement? And we take a guidance on that. So, of course, consult a professional. If your veterinarian is not an expert in that, then obviously you want to find a hydrotherapist.
Where are they?
Down on Windmill.
Like a human hydrotherapist?
No, it's a canine one. It's a canine aquatics place.
Oh, down the road.
Yeah, in the same thing as our chiropractor.
Oh.
Yes. Isn't that great?
I thought that was all human medical plaza down there.
She just did an open house. I think it was Thursday night, which we didn't get a chance to go to. But we should pop in and see her. I saw the sign go up and was curious when it was going to open. And they do have, I think they have a recreational swim too as well.
Good idea.
It's indoors. It's all indoors. Because they say without proper supervision in open water in particular, a dog recovering from surgery may not have the muscle strength needed to swim. And again, that's another thing. We talked about this a couple of weeks ago. My summer tips was don't assume all dogs can swim or like it or are strong swimmers. Don't assume that. The temperature of the water in a lake or a pond is unregulated, so temp is important. Also, bacteria from the lake may cause an infection in a recent incision. Yes, a very good point. A very good point. And finally, if your dog is not properly stabilized in the water, he may be putting pressure on the area in recovery and creates the risk of doing more harm than good. So this is why they're saying don't try this yourself unless you really have it together. You've consulted with your professional. They might say they can do an additional little swim with you 5-10 minutes. They may say, nope, it can only be in session time. So always talk to your professionals. And they say with any new medical treatment or fitness regimen, it's always best to check with your own veterinarian. And that's what we just said. Now, there is an association. It's the IAAMB, which is their website is iaamb.org. And it's the Association of Canine Water Therapy. They're dedicated to excellence in the development, growth, and training of canine, massage, and bodywork in water. They have a mission statement. So you can get information from their website. The Association of Canine Water Therapy is a division of the International Association of Animal Massage and Bodywork,
etc., etc.,
etc. And it's dedicated to advancing the safe practices of canine water therapy through education, establishing industry standards, and building a network of support. So you can go to the website iaamb.org, find who's in your area, gather lots of information, and it may be something that your dog would benefit from or enjoy if they're a little bit older, a little bit arthritic. I tell you something, I love a hot bath. Get in the bath, hot bath, throw some Epsom salts in there. I'm as happy as a lark.
And I love a swim. You
do love a swim. Jim's a great swimmer. Did you win some? Were you on some kind of team or something at school?
I was a winner as a child.
Oh,
in the swimming venues.
Winner, chicken dinner.
I enjoyed. I was on relay teams, and I swam the individual medley and the butterfly stroke and the freestyle stroke, and I was actually pretty good. And I swam for a couple of years, and then they found asbestos in the roof of our swimming building. And my parents made me quit the swim team.
Was it? Did it ever fall into the water?
Well, they had to shut the pool down to remove the asbestos. It was.
And then you never went back?
And I was never allowed back.
That's sad, Jim.
Yeah, I enjoyed the swimming.
That's really sad.
I was good at it.
Oh, you do enjoy a bit of a swim, don't you, Jim?
I was born into the water, I think.
Well, you're a Pisces.
Mm-hmm.
These Pisces can be a bit scaly at times.
Yeah.
Well, we know this season, we're in wedding season right now. And
We are?
well, it really starts round about spring.
I thought it's springtime.
Spring. Well, spring is when there's a lot of wedding fairs for the following year, that kind of thing. People get married the following year and the year after that. But there are lots of wedding fairs at that time of year. But, you know, people love a summer wedding. They love a summer wedding. And you will have seen this online. Many people including their pets in their weddings.
Correct, like we did in our renewal.
Yeah, we couldn't take our dogs because we flew back to England, but we took one of my sister's dogs. We put her in the photo shoot that we did, and it was so adorable, so adorable. And people want, because they're part of their family, they want them to be there. And often they have a role, which is to carry the rings, which I think is adorable. I just love it. And you can buy so many great outfits for your pets, or beautiful collars, have things custom made. You can have those ring pillows made where they attach onto your dog, onto a little harness, or very adorable. But it can be a little bit stressful because typically you know how to handle your dog, and to then say, ask a friend or a family member, can you look after my dog during a wedding? 1, they may not want to. 2, they may not be good at it. 3, would you really relax if you knew someone else had your dog? Because there's no one like ourselves to look after our dogs. But there's a solution. There's a solution. There's a wedding dog service. And I just read yesterday, saw the video, adorable, adorable, adorable. This lady, I've forgotten what her name is, but I can guarantee you, I know you know our friend Brandy? Our friend Brandy does this for weddings.
Really?
Yes, she does.
She never talked about that.
I know. She's not a bragger. I need to brag about her more often. But what she does, just like this lady I watched on the video, she is a service that you can hire her services for her to come and look after your dog. Now, it can be whatever it needs to be for the day. Is your dog, your cat going to be with you all day? And she plans the day. She looks after your pet the entire day. So they get to go to the bathroom. No one has to worry about, did they get food?
Or like a special event sitter.
It really is. And I think it's a fantastic idea, because it could be a little bit worrisome, but you still want them there, and it'll give you peace of mind. It's an absolute professional. It could be that they pick them up in the morning from you, and they're used in the ceremony, and then they say, our dog needs to go home now, so you take the dog back home. I just think it's a brilliant service. Brilliant
Never heard
service.
of that before. You never know
It's
what people come up with.
It's a little niche business. I think it's very beneficial, and I think it's genius. So if you want animal wedding services, get hold of me, and I'll put you in touch with Brandy. At her main website, actually, because she is a therapist for dogs. She does Reiki, she does massage. She's called animalloveandlogic.com is her website, and the wedding services, I think, are on the website. If not, I'll make sure I'll put a link up for that. But don't you love that idea? You know what? You probably would have to look also at pet sitters and ask, do you offer that service? But I think it's great, and to be included in such a beautiful day. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Love that idea. Well, since we're talking about celebrating, how about some catnip wine?
You're going to start drinking in the morning.
Yes, catnip wine. That'll get me going for the day. That'll give me the zoomies. I came across this yesterday, and it said, you know how it is. You get home late. It's been a stressful day at the office. All you want to do is unwind with a bottle of wine. But you've got no one to drink it with. Oh, you only have a cat. Hey, you're not lonely if you've got a pet, and especially if you've got a cat. You're certainly not lonely. But cats don't drink wine, right? Wrong. Well, sort of, they said in this article. Take a look at this catnip wine to see what we're talking about. And that's right, Catnip Wine. It's made by a Colorado-based company called Apollo Peak, and it comes in 2 varieties, Moscato and Pinot Meow.
Oh, my goodness.
Both are much available in 8 Meounce bottles. Oh, my gosh. Talk about play on words. 8 Meounce bottles. The wine is non-alcoholic, of course, but it does at least contain catnip. And so you might want to be the designated driver should you and your cat decide to share a bottle of catnip. As it says on the Apollo Peak website, why drink alone? We have labor-intensively we have labored intensively to develop a non-alcoholic catnip-based wine just for your furry feline friends. It's a satisfying blend for cats of all ages. Non-alcoholic, so I went straight to the website because just to say it's non-alcoholic and catnip in it, not enough for me to satisfy me what's in it. But it is non-alcoholic. They said we know cats and dogs shouldn't have alcohol, so we've designed a safe alternative to feeding them your real wine. Organic herbs are what are in this. This is what I wanted to know. They source only fresh organic catnip, peppermint, chamomile, and other herbs grown in the Pacific Northwest of the United States. And fresh beets, because we only want the best for your pet. We use fresh organic beets grown in the USA, and that's clearly for the coloring, I'm going to say. So nothing in there says chemical to me whatsoever, because remember, if you can't read or even understand some of the ingredients in food and treats and catnip wine, then you know to stay away from it. But I understand every single one of those. Thought it was fun. I'm going to see if they're going to be at Super Zoo. I think that would be fun to meet those people.
Have a glass.
Have a glass of catnip. It might help me get around Super Zoo because there are 2,500 booths, and that's going to be insane. Absolutely insane. And I am one of those people. I will not wear a flat shoe because I don't think they look like cute unless you're going to the beach. So I probably will have some high boots on as I strut my way.
You should just wear your Disney shoes.
No, not the Disney
People
shoes.
will remember. Oh, remember that lady with the
Disney shoes? No, the Disney shoes are just for Disney. Not because they're fabulous people. It's because they're hideous, but they're comfortable. But only for for Disney. That's all I use them for. Oh, Jim, I think we're close to the end of our show. So that was fun. All these things I've talked about today, I will put links up on our Facebook page so that you can follow along, buy your catnip wine. By the way, no one paid me to talk about the catnip wine. I just have to let you know. I just came across it last night, and I thought it was fun to mention that. So I have not used it. I don't have a cat. And mind you, I probably would try it myself because, hey, I ate dog treats on the air all that time, and they were good. They were really good.
Yeah,
well,
but what does catnip do to people?
I don't know. Just search it now. Do you have a minute?
Well, you got about a minute, I think. While you wrap it up, I'll see if I can find something out.
Can catnip harm people? Because even though things are natural, it doesn't mean that it can't be harmful, toxic, or, not suitable for humans or pets. Oh, that's my little Thornton there relaxing in the background. She's funny. She finds that one little beam of sunlight that comes in and she lays in it. And she just feels like she's wrapped in that little bit of warmth. She's cute. She's very cute.
It's an insect repellent, is catnip.
Is it really?
There is a how-to to use catnip on humans.
Oh. And would you just use it as a repellent?
You
wouldn't ingest it.
It says it's useful in 3 ways for humans.
Oh.
I'm just waiting for it to load. It has the opposite effect on people.
Oh, it makes you go to sleep.
It's like 3 years you might want to have a cup of catnip tea.
Oh, to relax.
Yeah, it's let's see here. It's a colic.
Oh yes.
Digestive herb.
Ah.
It helps with reducing a fever.
Oh wow.
You can make a fever tincture.
Very interesting.
There you go. Well, go ahead and have your catnip wine. I think you're safe.
Only at the end of the day. Not at Super Zoo. I'll never get past one booth. Well, remember, you can help an animal in need. Either rescue, adopt, donate, volunteer, or share their information. Rescue your next family member and replace the word shop with adopt. And of course, we like to say be kind to all animals. Thank you, Jim, for being in studio today.
Thank you. We'll see everybody at the Super Zoo.
Yes, you will. Come and say hello. Let's have a selfie. Let's exchange information. And if you get a minute, run over and like our Facebook page, Vegas Rock Dog Radio. Find us on Instagram, Tumblr, Twitter, all those good places. Say hello. And, of course, we love to see pictures of your pets, always. So feel free to post on our Facebook page or send them on Twitter and tell us their names and why you love them so much. Every day I get pictures of pets, and I absolutely love it. So thank you, Jim, for being my producer today. And I'd like to thank you, the listeners, for being the biggest part of the show every single week. You've been listening to Vegas Rock Dog Radio, where it's all about pets, people, and pop culture. I'm your host, Sam, the queen of rock and roll dogs, And always kiss your pets good morning and good night. And I'll see you next time.
You've been listening to Vegas Rock Dog Radio. Pets, people, pop culture.
Visit Vegas Rock Dog Radio for more information. Find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And subscribe on iTunes and iHeartRadio. And remember, give your fur babies a big kiss from me, Sam, the queen of rock and roll dogs. You must not rely on the information in this broadcast from our hosts as an alternative to medical advice from your veterinarian. If you have any specific questions about a medical matter regarding your pets, you should consult your veterinarian or specialist.